This is our first month trying to gain muscle. I'm not going to deny there's some times where I'm really trying to force myself to eat. We'll see what's going on one day. Hi everybody, and welcome to my 5th month in my keto journey, a gains month. This is our first month trying to gain muscle, trying to eat in surplus, and we're going to see how it goes. Now, if you have watched my previous videos, like my first month of keto, which was a calorie deficit and all about losing fat loss, you've definitely seen my journey, my ups and downs. There's even my 2nd month of keto where I also was in a calorie deficit and fat loss, and you can see the changes there. Now, my 3rd month of keto was all about maintenance. It wasn't too bad adjusting to that, but my 4th month of keto, which I literally just finished yesterday, was one of the most difficult months for me in this keto journey, and it was also maintenance. So now we are in a whole new step. We are in the gains, and if you want, you can see this is the progress I have made throughout my entire keto journey. So this is from where I started in keto. This is where I started, and so this is where I ended at the end of my last month yesterday. As you can see, there is a huge change. I have lost so much, almost 13 pounds, lost a lot in body fat. I've lost maybe 3 inches around my waist over these 4 months. And please remember, 2 of those months was eating at maintenance, so not expecting to lose any weight, any inches, nothing at all. And now, of course, we're in gains. I'm not trying to gain inches anywhere. I'm trying to build muscle to kind of slim and tone everything down, but in order to build muscle, we have to eat in a calorie surplus. And the things that I use, just gonna use simple things, is I am using the Fine Life Smart Weight Scale. This is the only scale that I've been using this entire process, and I will continue using it all the way to the end just for consistency purposes. But it gives me all my data, and of course, if you've watched my videos before, it gives you all the stats down to your water percentage in your body, which is great. And other than that, I use a regular tape measure. Now, because I'm eating in surplus, and I do find that sometimes overeating is a bit hard for me, I'm definitely going to get the protein shake, and I'm also getting creatine because I've seen so many good reviews on it. It honestly has almost 0 side effects or cons, but it's really good at helping you build muscle. Now, the protein I'm using is going to be Garden of Life. I personally am a fan of vegan protein. Whey protein doesn't make me feel good, and Garden of Life has what it is. They don't have as much additives in it. It's very organic, very natural, and that's what I prefer. By the way, when it comes to your protein, what somebody told me to check if there's too much of extra stuff that shouldn't really be in your protein is if you take a scoop of it, put it in your bottle or whatever, shake it up. If there's a huge amount of foam at the top, chances are it has some extras that you do not need. And then when it comes to my creatine, I'm using Sun Warrior, which is also an organic, vegan-based brand, very healthy. I'm trying to hit it with my organics right now, but those are what I'm going to be using to help me get into that calorie surplus. So we are getting there, and we're gonna make progress. Now that I've introduced you guys to everything, let's get into my day 1. So I am actually going to use today and tomorrow to just get myself adjusted to eating surplus, and then on day 3, I'm going to start going to the gym. So I'm going to try my best. I haven't been very good at this, but I'm going to try my best to record parts of my gym workout That way you guys can see what I'm doing, see my progress, and hopefully we can see the changes and the differences, and maybe I could inspire you to go to the gym at the same time. But for right now, we are just going to eat in a calorie surplus and get ourselves accustomed to eating that food. And since we're going to be putting ourselves in a calorie surplus, I don't expect to lose weight. I really honestly expect to gain it. So hopefully that calorie surplus for the 2 days is going to give us enough to use for building muscle. Hey everybody, so today is day 2 of our surplus month, our gains month. I officially got signed up with the gym. I'm going to go 3 times a week, and I'm going to just keep it at 3 times a week going physically to a gym, just because I don't want to overwork my muscles and not give them a chance to recover. Because I don't know if you know this, or if you do know this, when you work out, your muscles tear. If you don't give them time to recover, they're never gonna grow. So that's what I'm gonna do. At some point, just seeing one time more consistent with the 3 times a week, kind of every other day for the gym. I might start including Pilates into it just to tone up my core and add some core stabilization to it, and that will be at home workouts. But I'm not gonna do that yet. We'll see how I feel into my 3rd week, because I want to make sure I get at least those 3 days at the gym consistent. And I want to say, I know people who are at the gym once a week, but they go hard, very, very hard that one time a week, and they make gains in like 3 months. It is possible. We just have to really, really challenge ourselves, really put on the progressive overload, make sure the weight is heavy, and you can really make all the difference. At this point, what matters is your dedication and determination into doing it. So let's see where this goes. Hey everybody, so I am not feeling good today. I woke up with a stomach ache, and I honestly did not want to get out of bed, but I did because I had to work. And then also I made a promise to myself that today would be my first gym day, and I would be going to gym at least 3 times a week, every other day, not back to back, because we want those muscles to grow. But I did it, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it when I feel under the weather, because I feel like if you could do it when you're at your worst, you have no excuses when you're at your best. So I did it, and I got some footage of me doing it, so that way you have evidence that I actually went to the gym, because I actually went to the gym. So this is only step 1. The goal is to make it consistent. I know we could do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna force ourselves to do it until it becomes habit. But yeah, first day at the gym, success. It's my first day after the gym, and I do feel some slight soreness, so I think that means I'm on a good path. Definitely want to say that I didn't want to go too hard when I started the gym, because I wasn't sure where my limits were. It's been a while. So the fact that I do feel a little bit of soreness is helping me realize where my limits are, and also how to figure out how to do progressive overload on my own. So I actually am starting off with this whole week of increasing reps, and then the following week increasing weight, and once again starting over increasing the reps. So how I'm doing it is pretty much I'm doing 3 sets of 6 reps heavy weights, then I'm going to try to increase that to 9, and then try to increase that to 12, and then on that 3rd set for the 12 reps, that's when I'm going to try to increase the weight. And then the following week I'll start with that weight that I increased it to, start at 6, and kind of build up from there, so that way no matter what, I'm always in a progressive overload, whether it is via reps whether it's via reps or via weight. So the goal is, as always, to push myself to get a little bit stronger. And I personally think if you're trying to build muscle, you really should try to stay within that 3 to 15 reps area, or at least that's what I've looked up, and that's where I'm at. I feel like if I could do more than 15, the weight is too light for me. So I'm really kind of trying to stick between that 6 to 12 and just really go until I'm struggling. So I'm not sure if tomorrow at the gym I'm gonna increase the weight, or if I'm just gonna see how I keep going with the weight that I did start off with. But we'll figure it out. We're figuring this all out as we go. It is day 5. I have officially finished the gym for my second day. Still proud of myself. One more day at the gym and that will be our full week. Our first week at the gym complete, because I'm only doing gym 3 times a week just for consistency. As I mentioned before, I might in the future do some at-home Pilates on some of those days. We're still figuring it out. Right now it's just making sure that we get consistent in one thing before we start something else. So today, in terms of gym, I increased the reps that I did. So my first day I did a heavy weight, 3 sets of 6 reps. Today I did 3 sets of 9 reps with those same weights, and really just figuring out where I can increase the weight and how much my body can handle. I think actually though, the next time I go to the gym, because it'll be 3 sets of 12, the last set of that workout, that's where I'm really gonna change the weight and increase it up. I just haven't decided if it's gonna be like 5 pounds more or 10 pounds more. I'm still working that out. I have to see how I do with the 12 reps, but I'm excited, I'm motivated, and I'm feeling progress in my confidence, in my mental self. I don't know yet about physically. We're gonna see how it is at the end of this month, but progress nonetheless. So it is the day after our second day in the gym, and I'm honestly noticing that I don't get as sore the next day, but then the day after that, I get really sore. And then when I go to the gym after the gym, I'm not as bad. So it's weird. So if you're not feeling any soreness the day after, honestly, it could just be delayed, or yeah, it could just be delayed. So don't beat yourself up, because no matter what, this is all about progressive overload. And as I mentioned before, at the beginning of the week, I'm doing 3 sets of 6 reps, heavy weight. Then I'm going to try to bring that up to 9, and then bring that up to 12. And on the last set of that 12, I'm going to try to increase the weight. Whether it is 5 pounds, whether it's 10 pounds, is really going to depend on how I feel doing the workout, especially with those 12 sets. Because today I only did 9, well, not today, last night, yesterday. I only did 9 reps, and I felt like some of it I was really struggling to get those last sets in, which is a good thing. It means I have to make progress. But the ones that I was struggling the most, I'd probably only increase like 5 pounds. And the ones I wasn't struggling enough with, I'll increase 10. Because the goal is to always have some progressive overload, whether it's in reps or whether it's in weight. But yeah, I also want to say I noticed this morning, compared to when I first started going to the gym, I feel like my stomach is a bit flatter. That's just me. We're gonna see how it is during our weekly fit check and really see what's going on there. But overall, I feel like I'm making progress. I really, really feel like I'm making progress. So we got a long way to go. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not gonna be easy. We got a long, long way to go, but we are going to get there. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing if there is gonna be any changes from when I started this month to the end. So I'm excited for my fit checks, and I'm excited to see if I can keep this momentum up. Day 3 of the gym done, and honestly, I did not realize how weak I was until I finished the gym. I am exhausted, but I'm very, very proud of myself for finishing my very first week at the gym. I have been gaining weight, but I feel like I still look slim, so we're gonna see how things go with our weekly fit check. But yeah, week 1, our 3 days in the gym is done. If you are following this with me, I'm so proud of you. If you are not following this with me, but you're doing your own thing, I am still proud of you. So we are here in our first weekly fit check. I know I'm all confused with the days because I've been working out, which I haven't done in my past couple videos, or at least I haven't done consistently, and I'm doing it consistently, so that's really where my focus is. But I have our weekly fit check, so here are my stats. As you can see, everything went up in comparison to where I ended last month, which is where I started this month. Everything went up, but surprisingly, even though my weight has gone up, I feel slimmer. So chances are maybe I am building some muscle. That muscle is going in there, and muscle weighs twice as much as fat, but muscle also takes up less space than fat. That's why people who are super fit weigh a bit more than you expect them to, but they look way slimmer and more toned. Because think about it, fat, if it takes up this much space in your body, and this is how much muscle will be, or even smaller, who knows? But regardless, the more muscle you have, the more you're gonna weigh, but the less space it's gonna take in your body. Of course, until you build that muscle up. But from there, we have my weight, and I know last month I was so consistent, but this one it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. So we're really gonna see, I think we're really gonna see a lot of changes, especially with the body fat. Right now it's still in sync with my weight, but I have a gut feeling that the more and more consistent I am with the gym, the more and more consistent I am with building muscle, the more that's going to change. Now from here, we're going to my waist measurement, and this is why I say I don't think I'm gaining fat, but I'm gaining muscle, is because look at this. I am still 27 inches, and it's easy 27 inches. So progress. In my head, I'm gonna believe it until it actually happens, but progress. And now it's time for my comparison from the beginning of my entire keto journey to this first week in this month of keto. And so for the results, I went up to 123.2 pounds. I went up to 30.9% body fat, but I am still the same at 27 inches. So that is 0.4 increase in pounds, 2% increase in body fat, and 0 increase in inches on my waist. So I think we're really going to see a difference. I think the numbers are definitely going to go up. Who knows, I may end up in like 130, 135. If it's muscle, it's fine. I don't care, because I'm going to look fit. But I will say I am shocked that I did not weigh as much, or at least that my waist is still the same, because I've been eating in a surplus for about 7 days, and of those 7 days I've only gone to the gym 3 times. So maybe I'm doing something right. Hey everybody, so we're at day 8. Obviously I'm feeling myself because I feel like I look good. I'm just honestly very grateful and thankful to be doing this journey, this experience, because I did not actually think I would make it to month 5. I didn't think I would make it past month 1, and especially after month 4 and how horrible that was for me. Just to be in this gaining phase and actually building muscle, even if it's small steps, I'm thankful. And I do want to say, once again, the biggest thing I've learned with keto is listening to my body and understanding what hunger feels like, and knowing that sometimes hunger can feel like thirst. So one thing I'm doing to combat that is I have my little 1-liter bottle. I tell myself halfway before the day is over, drink that and make sure I fill it up for at least 2 bottles. So I finish 2 bottles, not all the time, but I at least do 1.5. So, and I notice if I drink water before I eat, I can actually tell when I'm really full. And sometimes I'm not even hungry, I'm just thirsty. So sometimes just drinking a cup of water before you even eat will tell you if you're thirsty, if what your body really needs is just water intake, and it's gonna help fill up your stomach so you get full faster. So that's my little tip and trick right now. And water is gonna help you, especially if you are working out, because you're gonna be sweating. It's gonna help you with that. And I feel like because I'm drinking so much more water, I'm not getting as bloated, except for, certain times. But because I'm drinking more water, my body's not holding on to it and having that big water retention, because it knows water is coming. So that is my biggest lesson is 1, take your time eating. You're learning portion control. You're learning if your body's hungry. And 2, drink water. When in doubt, just drink water. So I'm actually having a bit of a hard time eating in a calorie surplus. Sometimes I'm getting to maintenance and I'm having a hard time going past that. I'm trying to supplement it with protein shakes, but it's hard. I'm not going to deny it. There's some times where I'm really trying to force myself to eat. And I know I'm not the only one that does this when you're eating in a calorie surplus, but we're trying to get those gains, so we have no choice but to find a way to eat in calorie surplus. I will say one thing I'm finding is that I'm noticing it's a bit easier to get into a calorie surplus when you're eating carbs, because carb-heavy food is higher in calorie. But with that being said, making sure your protein and your fats are also up there, that's a challenge in that aspect as well. So we still have a long way to go when it comes to making sure I'm in a consistent calorie surplus, but I'm gonna get there. It's progress. I keep looking at fitness girls who are like, I eat 2,000 a day, and I'm just like, I want to get there where I don't really have to worry about my calorie intake, because I have the muscle, and muscle burns twice as much as fat. So we're gonna get there. We have a long way to go. We have progress, but I have to try to find ways to get myself more into that surplus zone, so that way I could build the muscle. But if you are having a hard time with your calorie surplus, like I said, one of the ways I'm trying to get there is through adding a protein shake to my meals that I was eating in maintenance. So it's kind of helpful that we struggled in that maintenance period, because now we know we could just add little things. I have finished my gym day today. My tripod broke, so I didn't really get a lot of videos of me at the gym. I'm still gonna figure out how to at least show you that I'm actually going to the gym. I will say one thing I'm trying this week is at the end of, on my 3rd set, I'm going to increase the weight, just because I want to get myself to a place where I'm struggling to do the weights. So I have a long way to go. I still have to figure out where my limits are, but we're getting there one step at a time. So apparently the day after you work out, you will weigh heavier because your body is having that water retention, and then also the tears in your muscles building up. So if you are weighing yourself every day and you're starting to notice the scale go up, especially when you're working out, do not beat yourself down. Chances are it is water weight. So you are probably on the right path. It's either water weight or you're building muscle. Either way, nothing for you to worry about. So I'm thinking about changing my workout. not too differently, but mainly my first 2 sets I'll do, but then the 3rd set I'm gonna do until failure. Just because I feel like I've been going to the gym and I've been increasing weights, I've been increasing reps, continuing with progressive overload, but I'm not getting sore after, and I know the weights are heavy because I'm struggling during my workouts. So I don't know if maybe I'm not going hard enough or something like that. I'm gonna ask some people to see. Maybe I'm just going crazy with it, but regardless, I think maybe that 3rd set, doing it until failure, can help push me more in the direction I want to go into. So I spoke with some friends that are huge gym rats, kind of in there every single day, if not every other day. And they said that soreness isn't necessarily an indicator that you are building muscle, because you can still build muscle and not be sore. And there's also supplements that kind of combat the soreness. And then another friend said that it just means your body is adjusting and adapting. So I am still gonna keep going, and if I am able to build up the weight and able to do the reps, then clearly I am getting stronger, regardless of whether or not I am getting sore. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely going to keep trying to challenge myself to do better the whole time. I had a cheat day today, just being straight up honest. It was mainly because we had a dinner to go to, and I just wanted to eat. So I ate. So I had a cheat day, but I do think it messed up my fit check this week, because when I woke up yesterday, my stomach was flat. It was like flat toned. I was like, yes, I'm making progress. And today it is not. And I do think it's because of the cheat day. But I'm not gonna beat myself down, because my goal was to eat in surplus this month, and I got to surplus. But for the most part, yeah, I have a lot more work to do. I do feel stronger, but I am starting to feel the panic of the weight gain on the scale, and I'm trying to tell myself it is okay. It is only going up because of muscle, regardless of what the scale says. It is because of muscle. So I just have to keep going hard in the gym, which I do today, and well, yeah, some gym montage stuff. But for right now, let's get into our weekly fit check and keep reminding ourselves that changes take time, building muscle takes time. Do not beat yourself down on the scale. So let's go. As always, here are my stats. As you can see, everything went up. The one thing that I noticed that changed was my visceral fat. It's staying down regardless of whether my weight is going up. I know I don't have stats on that. That's just something I observed, but everything else has gone up. So this is my body weight, and as you can see, also on that upward incline. I'm trying not to think about it, and then my body fat is doing that as well, also on the upward incline. But we're gonna work on it and get it out the way. And then here is my waist measurement, and unfortunately my waist went up. It is now at 27.5 inches. But this is why I think the cheat day kind of messed with that, because the day before I was like flat, just flat. It was wonderful. But it's all right. It's all right, because we know we're gonna get there. We have one cheat day. We gotta give ourselves a few days to get back into keto, and we are going to succeed. So now it is time for the comparison, of course, between the beginning of my entire keto journey, the first week, and today. So here we are, and my stats right now is 124.4 pounds, 31.3% body fat, and 27.5 inches in my waist. So where that leaves me is I have gained 1.2 pounds. I've gained 4% in body fat, and I've gained half an inch in my waist. I can see changes, or at least I think I am seeing changes. I'm not sure if I actually am, but definitely these comparison videos help. So I'm trying to tell myself right now we are gaining, which means that fat could go to certain places and, you know, round it out. But we have a long way to go. We're only halfway through our, we're only halfway through our 5th month. The second half could make all the difference, because this first half, I'm pretty sure my body's adjusting to getting more food in. And it's probably like, oh my gosh, we weren't getting a lot of food before, we have to take it all in. And soon it's gonna adjust and be like, you know what? We don't need to take it all in. We're getting enough, we're good to go. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. So we'll see what happens as these next 2 weeks go by. And I'm hoping that what I'm doing in the gym is making all the difference. Because I feel the pain. Hey everybody, so we're here in my 15th day. So we're officially in our second half of our 5th month of keto. Definitely what I am struggling with most right now is just eating at a calorie surplus, but I'm trying to figure it out. Because, you know, I want to make these gains, but you can't have gains if you're not gaining anything. So definitely trying to push myself into that, especially with the smoothies. I'm not really being too strict on myself when it comes to keto. I did give myself a much bigger carb gap in comparison to my previous 4 months. So my previous 4 months, I was at a strict 20 grams of carbs. This one, I am at a moderate 40 grams, which is definitely helping so much. But I still have a long way to go. So trying at bare minimum to hit that 250 surplus in calories. So I'm trying, I'm doing what I can, and I will get there. So I Googled, and it says that it takes anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks for your metabolism to adapt to you eating at a surplus. So that's kind of the same thing that it was when it comes to maintenance and adapting to that. So we got a long month ahead of us. But these first 2 weeks, I'm getting there. I'm so full right now. It's nighttime. I feel like I've been eating all day, and it does not feel good, but I am trying. But either I'm going to be adapted starting now or at the end of this month. But regardless, we are making progress no matter what. Gym day is done. I am not a fan of the gym right now. I'm really not. I'm actually getting sore like a day or 2 later, which is not fun. But I am trying to get this done, and I'm trying to just be hopeful for little little bits of growth. So I don't like the gym yet. I don't know if I'll ever become a gym rat. I don't know if that'll change. All I know is I am going to keep going and going to keep working. I'm feeling a little bit low because of the increase in my weight and the lack of definition. Right now, I'm just trying to keep going because I know I'm not going to see anything until like maybe weeks later, maybe 3-4 weeks. Maybe I'll see something. I don't know yet. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough and the changes are small. But I'm having a hard time just because my weight has been increasing and there's like no definition. So either my body is playing tricks with me or it's not, because I feel like I am starting to notice little changes. So either my mind, my body is playing tricks, or I'm actually making it a small, slight difference. Either way, I'm going to say it's both, because I refuse to think it's just my mind. So one thing I noticed, and obviously it was getting me down, was that I was gaining weight again. And I'm trying to get into my head that muscle weighs twice as much as fat, but takes up less space. I'm trying my hardest. So today, I looked at myself in the mirror and I noticed, even though I've been gaining weight, it doesn't look like it. What I'm trying to say is, last time I was like around 125, 124, around that weight, I looked pudgier than I do now. So I feel like, especially my stomach, I have to point that out there. But I feel like I'm going in the right direction. I feel like I'm making progress. But yeah, my weight gain is very, very different from where it was before. So I'm a little happy about that. Hey everybody, so we're finally at the end of week 3 in our 5th month of keto. And I want to say the gym has been a sanctuary for me when it's not crowded. But I am not a gym rat yet. I'm still figuring things out. I'm actually getting through it a lot better. I'm not in the gym for hours. At most, I'll be there for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. If I really want to stay long, then an hour and 30 minutes to an hour and a half. But yeah, I get my workouts in. I challenge myself. There's no need for me to stay there forever. So I'm not a gym rat. I don't know if over time I'll become a gym rat, but it definitely helps, because I notice when I go to the gym, especially right now with how I'm eating, no matter how bad my day is, I could get it out that way. And I tend to have less hunger pangs on days where I'm going to the gym, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like, instead of stress or anxiety or whatever, instead of going to eat, my body's like, oh, we're going to the gym, we could just take it out that way, we're not as hungry. It's weird. But we are, once again, at the end of week 3, so let's just get right on to the stats. As always, first up is my stats. Weirdly enough, you can see everything is the same. Did I expect it to be the same? Not at all, because I've been eating more, but it's the same. And here is my weight, and you see it goes up, down, up, down. For a while, it was just going up. Same with my body fat percentage. Now, here's the thing that made a difference in this whole week, which means I might be doing something right, is my waist went down to 27 inches. So it went back down half an inch. So let's just go straight to the full comparison. So here we are. My weight, once again, is 124.4. My body fat's 31.3%. And both of those stayed the same. And then my waist went down to 27 inches. Now the crazy thing with my waist is last week it went up 0.5 inches, so half an inch, and this week it went down half an inch. So maybe we're making progress, maybe we're not. We're gonna see how it goes at the end of our 5th month, but definitely I like the fact that my waist went down even though I'm eating in surplus. So I'm noticing that, or at least this is what I believe, that my stomach is getting smaller. Not my like outside part, but like the actual organ, the stomach feels like it's getting smaller, because I'm noticing, especially in these past couple days, that I'm trying to eat in surplus or just trying to eat regular overall. I'm getting fuller faster. And it used to be like a meal that prior to keto I could eat like it's nothing, and now I'm struggling just to eat half of it. I do try to force myself to eat because I'm trying to eat in surplus, but yeah, I feel like I am struggling to finish my food lately. But also, what I'm going to try to do to combat this going forward is try to have a lot more smaller meals like I was doing before when I was in a calorie deficit, where I was eating like small meals throughout the day just to get me through it. I think I might have to do that with this surplus, because trying to force feed myself to eat a whole meal when my stomach has shrunk, it's hard. But yeah, I think my stomach got smaller. I'm trying to get it to expand a little bit again internally, not the gut. I am having a rough day. I know it doesn't look it, but I'm having a rough day. I actually overheated and ended up fainting. So I have a few cuts on my legs, but I have like 2-3 cuts on my foot. The only reason I say 2-3 is because 2 of them are really close to each other, so I'm sure it's kind of the same cut, because it probably got cut with the same thing. But yeah, I overheated. I was trying to get a glass of water. Next thing I know, I'm waking up, I'm on the floor, the glass is broken around me. So very, very important is that if you are working out, make sure you're getting enough water. Even if you feel like you have drank water already, make sure you're getting enough water, and it's gonna make all the difference. I'm also sorry for my light going in and out. It probably is overheating too. It was a rough gym day. It was a bit hard with my foot injury, but I just kept telling myself, just push through it, even if I can't go as much as I was before. Let's make sure I take time out to focus on my form. So really, this gym day was all about making sure my form was good versus the usual, which is progressive overload. So I'm trying. I'm not gonna give up. And injury tells me, okay, I have to take it easy, can't be too hard on myself, and eventually I will be able to keep my foundation strong instead of losing it due to the injury. So we're gonna get better. I am trying to figure out how to eat more in surplus, because I do feel like that's why I'm not seeing as big changes or having a bit of a hard time in the gym. So I'm going to try shooting for a minimum of 250 to 500 calories per day. I am having a hard time getting there, but I'm hoping that by the end of the month I am consistently there. So it's the only reason I'm having a hard time with this is because I feel like I'm getting fuller faster. Not sure if it's because I'm drinking more water or if it's just I'm just getting fuller faster. So I'm trying to force myself to eat more, and that's just where I have the little difficulty with it, where I'm either just slightly above into surplus versus being well fully into it. So I have a way to go. I really am hoping that this last few days of week 5, I could get my consistent 250 to 500 surplus calories up. Hey everybody, sorry for this poor quality video and the shaking. I'm not able to get to the gym today. I'm still at work. It's already the next day, so I haven't been able to get a chance to go. But this does not mean I will quit. I'm still going to keep trying to do my thing at the gym, but I am not gonna make it today. Honestly, I just really want to go home. I'm so tired. Here's a little thing if you're getting a little bit discouraged like I am. Turns out in your first few weeks to like a month, you are going to be bloated. You're going to gain weight. Regardless of whether you're eating in surplus or not, you could be eating in a calorie deficit. This is going to be the same. Why? Because one, you're building muscle. You might not be building muscle and losing fat at the same pace. You might be building muscle and slowly losing fat. Not that big of a deal. The other thing is inflammation from working out and water retention. So as your body gets used to it, eventually those will kind of go away. But just knowing this in my head, I'm just like, the end of this month, I'm gonna look so bloated. But we're gonna keep going because we have one more month of keto after this, and that, I'm sure, is when I'm gonna lose it all. I promise. Hey everybody, so what I am realizing is, one, I think I need to eat a lot more. I think I should really be shooting for maybe gaining half a pound to a pound a week. I'm not going to do that this month just because I'm still struggling to get myself to eat in surplus. Right now, for the rest of this month, my goal is just 250 calories more. Next month, though, I'll go the extreme and a lot more because you can't really build muscle if you don't have muscle, if you don't have anything for the muscle. So that's one thing. Second thing is I have to change my mindset. And this one's a hard one. Especially hard because the first 2 months really of this keto journey, I was seeing changes like it was nothing. Like I was dropping inches, I was dropping weight. I think my first month I lost like 10 pounds real quick. But I have to tell myself, with getting toned, with building muscle, it is not something I'm going to see in a month. I'm not going to reach my ideal in a month. I'm not going to reach it in 2 months. I'm probably not going to really see it in 3 months. But what I am going to see is I'm going to see small changes over the course of time. And it's probably going to take me maybe 1 to 2 years to really see that difference or to reach my ideal. So what I'm trying to say is, in these 2-month periods where I'm changing my diet from a deficit to maintenance to surplus, my changes are going to be subtle, except that first month because, beginners. But they're not going to be as drastic as I would have wanted it. As everybody, they're like, oh, you go to the gym, bam, you see changes, you're fit. No, it's not like that. It's a progress, it's a lifestyle. So I'm trying not to be too hard on myself. And I'm trying to just tell myself, it is okay, just keep going. And that's literally my motto this whole time, is just keep going. Imagine if I had quit after my first month, or imagine if I had quit during my maintenance period where I wasn't really seeing any changes. I wouldn't be here. And I still see changes in definition that I did not see during that 3rd month. So we are, no matter what, just keep going. Just keep going. If you miss a day, that's okay. Pick back up and just keep going. We're changing our lifestyle. Our old lifestyle got us here. Our new lifestyle is going to get us there. Yeah. Anyways, let's go to our 4th week fit check, our last fit check before our final month fit check, because we have made it to week 4. As you can see with my stats, it might look familiar because everything is the same as last week, which was a bit weird because as you can see my weights, it was going places. So the fact that a week apart my weight is still the same, everything is still the same, even my body fat is still the same, it's kind of weird. It's like go crazy for the whole week and then just when it comes time to do the fit check, let's just go back to being the same. Really weird. But my waist also stayed the same. I did not do checks throughout the week. I only measure my waist once a week. So this is it. Same. It's almost like I didn't do any changes. I know I have to be better at the gym, go harder, eat a lot more, so we're getting there. And now here, of course, is the comparison. And even though my weight and everything is exactly the same, I feel like I'm noticing subtle differences between this week and last week. So let's go into that, right? So this week, my weight is 124.4, same as last week. Body fat 31.3, same as last week. And my waist 27 inches, the same as last week's. So everything is exactly the same, which means either I am losing weight and building muscle at the same time, or something. But yeah, we're still gonna make progress. We have 2 more days in this month, so pretty soon we'll see what changes happen over the next 2 days. Hey everybody, so we are in our 2nd to last day of our 5th month of keto. This month was pretty hard because I had to force myself to eat in surplus, which I'm still working on. I need to do better at eating more and kind of force feeding myself. That way the muscle can grow. Because right now I'm seeing definition, slight lift, but not as much growth. So that's definitely something I need to work on. So we're about to do tomorrow our last fit check of the month, and then we have 1 more month of keto, and then we are free. But it has been a long journey. Every single month has had its difficulties and its lessons. So I'm just thankful that I got to the end. I was able to kind of be consistent with the gym. So I'm looking forward to building that more and making that part of my regular. Everybody, so we made it to our last day of our 5th month of keto. We have gotten here. We have finished our 1st month of eating in surplus, which was difficult for me personally. I don't know about you, but it was difficult for me. Definitely the biggest takeaways I have from here is learning to eat more frequently. That is gonna, 1, keep your metabolism going, but also it's gonna help you get a lot more food in. Something I need to do more in my next video. But yeah, everybody, it's time for us to do our last fit check. We can do this. So everybody, here are my stats. For the first time in a long time, it has finally gone up. So clearly I did something decent in these past 2 days, as you can see. And here is my weight also. I'm just happy it went up. And same with my body fat. I'm not 100% sure if the body fat calculator is accurate because I look slimmer and the weight isn't like it was before when I first went down to that size. I'm a lot more toned. So we'll see what's going on one day. But now, here is my waist. It is the only thing that stayed the same, which I am happy about. It is still at 27 inches. Thank you. And of course, here is the comparison from when I started keto to where I am now. This is literally how long my journey has been, so let's bring it up. As you can see, today I am 124.6 pounds, which is only a 0.2 pound increase compared to the 4th week fit check. I'm 31.4%, which is up 0.1% body fat compared to the last week. And then I am 27 inches in my waist. So that's all changes that happened in 2 days. So this entire 5th month, I actually gained 1.8 pounds. I gained 0.7% in body fat, and I gained 0 inches on my waist. So at the end of the day, this has been ridiculously, slightly productive keto month. I definitely have to learn how to eat more and more and more. And because if I really want to build that muscle, I have to put on the weight, and that's honestly my biggest struggle. So going into my 6th and final month of keto, the goal is to really eat, like really eat. So I hope you join me on that. If you don't, I'm thankful you were here for this part of the journey.